Welcome to Kletus Ray's Roadside Service. I'm your host, Kletus Ray. Hey, guys. This has been a fucking wild time. I mean, it's not super wild, but there's a lot more going on with the content creation. What's going on? Well, I've been on a bunch of podcast kicks. I interviewed, it kind of started off with interviewing my bro-law. Go back and watch that. He's the freight broker. Interviewed him, and then I don't know. I guess I got the bug, and I know you guys have been following along, so you understand that. I posted up on the podcasters group, and then I met some guys, and then I went on. I've been on 2 podcasts so far. Within just a short amount of time. I went on the Three-Wheeled Bicycle podcast. We talked about that already. A bit, and then I then I went on the other podcast, Back Road Friends. And those are the Canada fellas up in the poutine land and whatnot. Don't you know, bud? Anyways, I don't want to make fun of them too much. They're really good guys. Talked to Jason and Jiggy over there. And yeah, it was awesome. That was yesterday. Thursday, I did a recording with them, and I definitely want to go on there. I want to go on the Three-Wheeled Bicycle podcast again, but I definitely want to go back on either Back Road Friends or Broken Wing Nuts. They have 2 channels over there. I want to go back on with them because I feel like I wasn't. I mean, it was a good podcast. I enjoyed it. A lot of information came out, and none of this is obviously scripted. It's just information that comes out. But yeah, you'll have to go check that out, and I've linked that show on my Facebook group. So go check that out. I also need to get it. I'm driving right now, so I'm just now starting a podcast, so I ain't got time to do it right now. And I guess I should have done it kind of last night, but I need to go through and get everything added to the YouTube channel too. If this guy's turning here, I need a blinker. I'm not going to pull out in front of a tanker. I'm pretty sure you're going to turn here. Are you going to turn here? You're slowing down. I don't see a blinker. Oh, he does have his blinker on. None of his fucking blinking lights work. None of his fucking blinkers worked. Only the little tiny LED on the side of his truck. Now, I couldn't tell from that far away, or else I'd have pulled out. Poor guy, I was nosed out, not in the intersection, but I was nosed out. He had to swing it wide to get around me. Poor guy. He's probably like, my fucking blinker's on. But, dude, all your fucking blinkers are out. Okay? There's only one little one I can see. I didn't even see it till you got right up to me. But yeah, I need to go through and share all that stuff on the Facebook group also, or the YouTube channel. But it's been a very exciting time. And then also yesterday, so I appeared on a podcast yesterday, and then I brought on my good old best friend Tyler. I brought him onto my podcast, and we kind of just talked about life in the past and whatnot, and seeing what he's up to these days. So definitely go check that one out. You probably already checked it out since now, but I mean, it's just been I went from just being by myself to now I'm doing shows and being on shows and all kinds of shit. And that's the other thing is I'm gonna try to bring some of these guys onto my show one of these days. I think we're gonna kind of space it out. I don't want to just. I mean, I could definitely do a podcast with these guys. Every day. They're very entertaining. We've all had a lot of crazy life experiences. So I could podcast with people every day, but I want to kind of keep the essence of Kletus Ray's Roadside Service Me rolling in a truck down the road. And that brings me to dinner I had last night. I'm going to go ahead and just play a clip because it was. I'm just going to play a clip for you guys. So just check this out. We are overweight. We're overweight now, bud. We are sitting high off of the hog. The hog is now gone. The hog is now inside of me. Stopped off at a barbecue restaurant down here. Oh, baby! Got me the 3 combo platter, large. 3 delicious smoked ribs, pork ribs. Brisket, beef brisket, and pulled pork. Chewy! Baby! That was, oh, damn. I'm stuffed. I'm about to bust. Smoke Shack, smoke something. Didn't even look at the name. I just smelt the barbecue. I pulled in there. Ordered me a combo with a large sweet tea. Give me a side of uh, macaroni potato salad. Give me a side of potato salad, baked beans, ribs, brisket, pulled pork, dinner roll, pickle. For some reason, pepperoncinis. And you know what? To top it all off, a little cobbler at the end. You would have thought I was racing somebody. You would have thought, oh, this guy's in a competition. This guy's going to get his meal for free if he eats all that. No, I'm just doing it for the love of the sport. For the love of the sport, I ate as fast as I fucking could. Did I taste it? Is what some fucking nerds would say. They just didn't even taste it. Bet you didn't even taste it. No, I tasted it. I smelled it. I seen it. I tasted it. Swallowed it. Whole. I'll spit the bones out later. God damn! That was good shit. Uh. Top it off with a cobbler. Brothers. She said, sorry, I'm a little lethargic. I just ate probably 4 pounds worth of food. She said, all we have is apple. I said, you know what? I was going to pick apple anyways. That was a lie. I would have picked peach probably. But, I wanted to look cool. I just devoured I sat front row. You'd have thought that I was the teacher's pet at this fucking restaurant. I sat right up front and center. I stared at the waitress the whole time I ate the food. Sunglasses on, by the way. Sweat dripping off my forehead. Pulled pork stuck in my teeth. Barbecue beans on my t-shirt. And a sweet tea that's halfway gone. And I gave her the look. She knew exactly what to do. Fill that sweet tea up, bud. Fill that sweet tea up. I need something to help this shit coast down my esophagus. I think I was in there for 15 minutes. I think I sat down, ordered, ate, and left. And my truck only sat for 15 minutes. That was a lot of food. You would have thought, normally when I'm eating out in public, I try to be aware of how loud I am when I eat. Not here. Not here. I was the Hulk alarm, Hunk alarm. Planet Fitness. They had one here. It was going off, and everybody cheered. The four people that were in there with me, they cheered. They said, "Do it, do it, do it." Some little girl came up and started rubbing my neck to help me swallow. I said, "Get out of here. You better keep your fucking barbecue sauce fingers away from my fucking mouth. I will bite them off." I'll bite them off. It's going to be a while before I realize you're screaming. I can't hear your screaming over my loud breathing. All I can hear is meat going down the hatch here. And now I have to pay for it. I'm going to pay for it with an unknown amount of time of hiccups. An unknown amount of time. Wasn't that a good little segment right there? Something I don't think I've ever done before. But anyways, that was my barbecue segment. It was a delicious dinner. I don't need to go into that any more in depth. And I will say, while I hit the pause button and then hit the record again button, I almost fucking took out a little Chevy SUV. I'm in the middle of fucking Oklahoma, okay? I'm driving through the middle of Oklahoma. It's a 2-lane blacktop. There are most of the lanes that I'm driving on are passing lanes. You can pass me whenever the fuck you want, but there was an actual passing lane back there, and I was in the right-hand side. So that means if there's people behind me that want to get around me that just for some reason couldn't, hey, go ahead, go around me now. And this little fucking Chevy SUV has been stalking it behind me, and I got over. But my fucking the right lane is ending, and I got to get back over, and you have not completed your pass yet. So I'm coming over, and they kind of got rattled back there. I don't know. I didn't. Obviously, there's no connection between me and them. But what the fuck? Do you not know how to drive? I get over so you can pass me, and then you just want to get up right near my fucking trailer axles and just kind of hang out there. And then, oh, all right, well, you need to go. You need to go. I'm coming back over, bitch. I'm coming the fuck back over. Put my blinker on. They slowed down a little bit, and I'm like, why would you slow down? Speed the fuck up and get ahead of me. Anyways, that really fucking grinds my goddamn gears. People that don't know how to pass a goddamn truck. I mean, I did have an incident yesterday. Well, it wasn't really an incident, but there's this little Nissan that we're on I-35. This is the interstate. We got 4 lanes, and they are just they there was something interesting about being at the middle of my trailer. They just wanted to sit there at the middle of my trailer. I bumped that fucking zipper on them. The zipper's the fucking dotted line in the middle of the road. I'm just swerving at the fucking zipper. It's like, hey, can you fucking get away from me? Okay, you're a little fucking car. You're gonna go faster than me. Go faster than me. Why speed up? Get to the middle of my trailer. Just hang out there. Fucking annoying. Anyways, got back to my hotel last night so the reason I usually will stop and get my burger, my mushroom and Swiss burger over at the in Alva right there. There's that diner. But yesterday I kind of got a little bit of a later start than I really wanted to, and the diner they turned the grills off around 8 o'clock, and it was going to be about 7:30, 7:40 before I got there. And I don't want to be that guy. I'm already, they don't remember me at all whatsoever, but I feel like they would. Maybe I should have went there and at, 7:45 and been like, hey, I want a bunch of food. I don't like being that guy. I like to, show up at least an hour before closing because I've been there. I've worked at a restaurant or two where you're just like ready to fucking go home. You've been just dealing with the fucking bullshit, waiting on, you're being a waiter. I was never a waiter, but I was like, helping out these fucking people. They're like, we're going to come there and we're going to buy some food and you are going to be our bitch for the night. And it's like, okay. But I'm your bitch. I'm not just your bitch. I'm everybody's bitch. I'm the fucking busser boy. I'm the busser boy. Everybody's telling me to do shit. I'm walking by. I'm not your waiter, but yeah, I'll go get you a refill of your Coca-Cola. Oh, you want some more bread with that fucking pasta, whatever the fuck? God, I don't know what button to click to get extra bread. I'm just going to go grab some. All right. I'm a busser. My hands aren't, I clean my hands as much as I can, but if you want the bread quick, it's going to have a little bit of germ on it because I'm just going to grab it. I might even sniff it a little bit because, I'm a busser, but I don't get to just sit there and eat breadsticks. But whenever if I'm touching a breadstick, I'm eating a breadstick, So I'll grab like 3 or 4 of them, put them in my apron, and walk over and be like, "Hey, anybody need an extra breadstick? I got 2 available. The third one's for me." I don't even know where I was going with that. I'm working at a restaurant, waiting on people, being a bitch. Oh yeah, so I found there's this other barbecue joint that I would pass through, and there's a couple of Mexican restaurants too, and they're along my route. Some of them are in Alva, and I was looking them up, and they all closed at like 9. So I was like, all right, I can go to one of those and not feel bad. And I was really in the mood for Mexican cuisine. I don't know if you're gonna find a great Mexican cuisine out here in the middle of fucking nowhere, but maybe. Um, so I found one, and it was in this other little town that I passed through, and I looked, and it looked like I probably fit my tanker in there. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop there. I drove by, not one car in the parking lot, no lights on. It's starting to get dark. I'm telling you, not one car in the parking lot, no sign. Also, there are no signs on this building. It looks like a chiropractor center. Uh, and that was the place. I clicked it on, the Google Maps, and I was going there. And not one fucking car in the parking lot. And it's not, it's a really small town, but it's not that fucking small. They have a whole downtown area and everything. When I say real small town, that means like DeWitt, Missouri, where they have a post office and a pop machine and a church. That's only 3 businesses other than, self-employed people out there. So anyways, I said, I'm not going there. There was an open sign, just kind of like an old open sign. Looks like it'd be outside of a fucking a tax refund place or whatever, or like a check your cashier place. I was like, I'm not going there. First off, it's going to be awkward to go to a place for the first time ever and be the only patron in that place. And it's like a big restaurant. Um, Park your tanker, walk in, and then I'm the only fucking person there. I feel like there would be a couple of Hispanic people and a couple of redneck white people, and they'd all just be watching me eat my fucking taquitos or whatever the fuck I order. And I was like, I don't know if I want to be in this position. And there was a restaurant in that town that I used to eat at, and it was kind of the same way, except it actually had signage and shit. But once you got in there, and it felt like a little tiny little burger shack. They're like, oh, go into the dining room. You got to go through this hallway, around the corner, down the hall, walk over the vacuum cord and step over the books and got to go underneath the clothing rack. And it's like, what the fuck? This is your dining room for a restaurant? And you go in and it's like somebody robbed a library and they had their stash of books all over the fucking walls and stuff. And there was like a TV that was cockeyed in the center, and you're sitting at fold-up tables. None of them matched. They were just a bunch of random fold-up tables. Kind of like you're at a pyramid scheme meeting or something, and you're sitting in office. None of the chairs matched either. They were like office chairs. They were fold-up chairs. There was like a camping chair. There was a couple of chairs that, had only 3 legs. It's kind of weird looking. And I ate there the first time, and I was just like baffled at what the fuck I was sitting in. I was like, this is how they do it down here in Oklahoma. This is like, I think somebody's snoring in the back here. I think somebody's sleeping underneath all these books. But I ate there, and then I told the story on the podcast, I believe. And then my buddy Luke was like, dude, you got to go back. I'm like, I don't want to go back. I'm gonna pass that place up. He's like, no, go back and get pictures. So I went back and I got pictures and I sent it to him. And he's like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. It's pretty insane. Well, they're closed down now. So anyways, that's the only experience I have of sitting down at a restaurant in this little town. And I didn't want to, I'm all for, like, if I own that Mexican restaurant and I'm in this tiny little town and it's 7 o'clock on a Thursday night and there's not one fucking person here, I'm like, we got to close up. You need to put everything back in the fridge. We need to put all the ingredients back in the fridge. Halfway cooked steak, put it back in the fridge because there's nobody's going to eat it. How am I supposed to keep my business alive? And I guess that's what happened to that burger joint, but you would think the burger joint would, it's right on the corner, right in the center of the town. You would think that, like, everybody's going to stop in there, but, it's like, hey, can you, like, clean up some of the books? Go to Walmart and buy, you're going to buy cheap-ass chairs, but can they all be the same? And then get some tablecloths or something for the tables so nobody notices they're all fucking wrong. Clean up some of the books, straighten the TV, pick up your dirty laundry. I don't know. Wake the guy up that's sleeping in the back room over there. Do something, and maybe your burger joint is fucking stay alive. So anyways, I didn't want to risk it with that Mexican restaurant. So I found another. It looked like more of a real Mexican restaurant over there in Alva. So I was headed to that, but I was like, man, I don't know if I can get my tanker in there. I really don't want to, but I remembered there was a barbecue joint, and it looks like straight out of Smokey and the Bandit. Just imagine like a place where Smokey and the Bandit's gonna eat. It's just out in the middle of the fucking desert and nowhere, and there's just like this little place that's barbecue. And I've seen truckers pull in there before, so I was like, I know I can get my truck in there. I'm gonna go there, and that's what I did. And you heard about what I ate, and it was fucking amazing. I worked my way back down to my hotel. Almost got in another accident because so there's a little dirt road in between the hotels, between the Holiday Inn and the Comfort Inn, a little tiny dirt road, and I got to back my tanker in there. So I pull over on the side of the road and I throw my flashers on, getting ready to get into position to back down this road. And I got to wait a while, I don't want any cars to be coming at me from the front of me or behind me, because I got to take up the whole fucking road to get my trailer backed in there. So I have to sit there and wait. It's every fucking time. I got to sit there and wait. Not a big deal, but I see this fucking van, he's waiting at a stop sign, And I'm waiting on this one little fucking Volkswagen Bug to pass me. As soon as the Volkswagen Bug passes me, and this guy's been sitting at a stop sign, just sitting there. I don't know what, he's not waiting on anybody. But I'm like, fuck you, dude. I mean, you've had time to pull out and do what you need to do. I'm pulling up. So as soon as that Bug passes me, I pull up. This fucking van also just pulls out of the parking lot like he's like, oh shit, I need to hurry up and get in the way of this trucker, just about. But I said, fuck you, dude. I've been sitting here waiting for a long time for all these cars to clear out, and they finally cleared out. So I'm fucking doing it. And so I nosed up and I blocked his whole fucking road. And he swerved off into the grass to go around me. Like, I was like, damn, this guy's really in a fucking hurry. But I just continue to back up, and I ain't got nobody else to worry about after this fucking van guy fucking fucks with me. And then I look, and as I'm backing down this road, he is still following me because he was going to the Comfort Inn. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You fucking fuckhead. Like, I got out of the truck, and I just stared at him the whole time. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? I got me a big belly full of barbecue. I'm as happy as I could possibly be, and you just pissed me off. You just ruined my whole goddamn mood because you're impatient as fuck. You're sitting at the stop sign for no fucking reason. Am I supposed to sit there and wait for you to decide what the fuck you're doing? I don't even know which way you're turning. And then as soon as I fucking get into position, you come up and you're like, oh, this fucking idiot trucker's in my way, blocking the road. I'm late. I don't know what he's late for. It's 8:30 at night. And then he's going right next door to where I'm at. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So I back down there and I just stare at him. I don't think he looked at me once, but I just stared at him. I'm like, you fuckhead. You're a real fuckhead, aren't you? Anyway, so that was about the only interesting thing that happened about after that. Got back up into my hotel room. 4th floor, buds. That means I can jerk off with the window curtains open. I can go look out the window. There's nothing attractive out there. It's just desert, whatnot, some cows and whatnot. And there's also some bulls and all kinds of other shit. Anyways, I just lay down on the bed. I called the wife to talk to her for a little bit. I guess we're going, not this weekend, but next weekend, we're going to go to the lake. So this was a little bit of a conversation we had. She said, hey, my parents, they had bought a boat. The in-laws, I'm not a big fan of them, and I've told myself I'm never getting on a boat with them before, but I'm open to change my mind. Maybe it will be an enjoyable time. I don't know. So she's like, hey, my parents are gonna go to the lake the weekend after next. So do you want to go? And I was like, sure. She's like, okay, well, we'll have to drive down there, go on the lake, and then drive home. I'm like, no, what? She's like, well, they have cabins there, but I don't think we can stay in the cabins. I'm like, they own cabins at the lake. And they're inviting us to the lake, but we can't sleep in the fucking cabins? Like, this is immediate family right here. I'm like, they're not gonna let us sleep in the cabins? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, why would they not let us sleep in the cabins? I don't understand. Like, they have all these cabins. They have a little bit of land down there, a few acres. It's kind of on a hill in a little community. And it's a fucking awesome community too. And that's another thing. I might take the fucking DR down there. But yeah, they have a bunch of cabins for family members to come down and stay in. Obviously, it's for them too, but not all the family. She's got uncles and aunts and whatnot, and they have a bunch of cabins. So I was like, are you fucking kidding me? They're not going to let us sleep in the cabin? She's like, no, we're just going to have to drive down there and then drive back. I'm like, I don't want to go there. She's like, but why? I'm like, because I don't want to drive down there, get hammered, not get hammered, stay completely sober, baking in the sun on a boat all day long, and then get off the boat and get in my car and drive all the way the fuck home. That does not sound fun at all to me. I was like, if we can stay down there for one night, like, I don't understand what the problem would be with that. She's like, well, maybe we can get a hotel. I'm like, even a hotel, I can't drink. I can't drive a car with alcohol in my system whatsoever. So I don't want to do that. I want to just go down there and be able to have a great time and maybe drink a little bit and hang out on the boat and then be able to relax at the campsite or the cabins or whatever. Well, I guess I don't know. I'm thinking a little bit of my bitchy mentality going towards all this kind of helps out sometimes, because sometimes, you know, she probably wouldn't have even asked, but then I bitched about it enough, so she's like, yeah, Cletus really, she doesn't call me that, but Cletus really wants to sleep in the cabin, and they're like, oh yeah, that's fine. So I'm like, you just created almost a whole fucking, I was almost angry to go down there, you know, and turns out everything's fine. So, anyways, I guess that's just a long way to put. I'm going to the lake and I'm going to sleep in a cabin. I got to figure out how to get the DR down there. I don't necessarily want to ride it down there. I guess I do want to ride it down there, but because the wife's going to want to take her car, and I don't want to. If anything, I want to take my truck, and I can throw the DR in the back of the truck and drive it down there. But she doesn't trust my truck whatsoever. But I'm telling you, my truck runs way better than her car. And if I get the AC fixed on my truck, I think it'll be all right. And I might just bitch about it a little bit. Be like, hey, I'm doing this. This is what we're doing. We're taking the truck. I don't care. We're taking the truck. And I'll get my way. It's extended cab. I'll clean it out and I'll put some air fresheners in there, and I think it'll be all right. I got this weekend to get that all figured out. The truck, I say the truck doesn't run all that great, but it fixed itself, guys. It runs really good. I can drive it to and from work, and everything's fine. You know, just add a little oil to it. I'm going to do an oil change this weekend, and I still have my old cap for my distributor. Might put the old cap back on, and I might fuck with the plug wire. The boot ends of the plug wires are a little bit longer than what the knobs are on the distributor cap, so I think that's why I was having a little bit of problems. And also, if I got the time, I'll probably go ahead and swap out the fuel filter also, because I gotta put in a new part of a fuel line and bullshit. But yeah, I think I'll do that. I think I'll get the truck ready to go, and then whenever she starts putting shit into her car, I'm just gonna take it out of her car and throw it in the truck. She'll be like, "What are you doing?" We're like, "We're taking the truck. We're taking the truck. We're going on a family road trip in the truck." It's not that long of a drive either. It's like an hour and a half. Not a big deal. The truck will do it just fine. Um, Her car, I don't know. I really don't want her car to break down. But I can recharge. I got the recharge kit for the AC. I can recharge the AC on the truck. We can have cold AC all the way down there. It'll be a good time. Only time I've been down there was I drove my old pickup down there a few times. I had a 2006 GMC Sierra crew cab. This was before kids, but I drove that down there a few times and had a great time. Actually, this is at a place where my buddy Tyler, his parents also owned a place down there. This is totally unrelated because this was years before I even met my wife, but we would go down to the same exact community down by the Ozarks. or Truman Lake or whatever lake it is. I actually don't even really. I should be more knowledgeable on all this, but we used to ride four-wheelers and shit down there. So I'm really excited. I want to get the dirt bike down there, even though it's on street tires. But you can. There are some like easy trails and shit where you can just kind of cruise around a little bit. So excited for that. Want to definitely check that out, see how it goes, or just just kind of ride around the neighborhood and whatnot. Not under the influence, obviously. These are, even though it's a closed community, like there's a gate, you still can't. I don't think you can drink and drive down there. They're not that fucking crazy. Um, but if you're riding, I don't know. I don't know how that works, because that's what we did back in the day when we were down there. We'd grab a cooler full of beer, throw it on strap it to the four wheeler, and go cruise the trails. And I guess I just need to find some other guys down there that are also interested in riding, and I can take do a little riding with them. I don't know. I really want to figure out how to get the bike down there. This is gonna also be, I'm going down there with the family, but then I'm gonna take off on my motorcycle. So I don't know if that's a super great idea. No, and this would be after the boat, before the boat or after the boat. I'm not sure. Probably after the boat. We're on the boat all day and then go back to the campsite. They'd pull the old DR out of the truck bed and just cruise around, have a good time. But I don't know. Maybe I will just leave it and we'll take the wife's car. I could ride the DR another time maybe. I don't know. I'll decide it later. But I think it would be a lot of fun to bring down something. If I had a four-wheeler, I would 100% bring the four-wheeler down there, because then multiple people can ride on it and we can actually do some trails and stuff. Since I have street tires on the DR, it's not going to do well, but I can air down. I have a little air pump that we got for Christmas from somebody, and it's like a little electric air pump. It's a little compact. It's like the size of your cell phone, but it's it's more like a tall boy, a Bud Light or whatever. It's the size of it, and you can set the PSI and just I really like that, because I want to throw it in my backpack and just bring it with me with the DR, so I can air down and air back up and just have it. And the truck, having the truck down there might also be I'll take the truck down, but then if I fuck up the truck, how are we going to get back home? That might not be a good idea. Back in the day, I 100% would have taken my truck down in them trails. And it's not even trails, it's like roads. It's a road, but it got washed out. Now it's like a rock hill climb. And remember taking four-wheelers, dirt bikes down there, and it was just, it's like, this is the road. You're just driving on the road, and then all of a sudden it's like a rock crawl, little section. I was like, this is fucking awesome, but gotta be kind of careful. Don't want to get hurt down there. We definitely got hurt down there. Me and Tyler, actually, with the podcast we just did, we didn't even talk about going down to this community. And we have a lot of memories down in that community. It was so much fucking fun. There's also a riding park nearby. It's called Deepwater. There's a bunch of trails out there, and I'd love to hit those up. But I don't know. The DR is an off-road vehicle, but it's not like, it's heavy. I'm also heavy. I don't know. I'm not going to be doing the crazy trails and shit. I just want to be able to ride around in the woods, And I was talking to those Canadian guys over on the Back Road Friends podcast, and they were kind of mentioning that in Canada, there's a lot of land, and so there's tons of trails all over the place. And I think they live kind of, I don't know what kind of town they live in. He said Woodstock, so I still haven't even looked it up to see what it is, but I imagine it's not like a Kansas City or even like the surrounding cities. You know, I don't know. He probably knows most of the people that live in the town, and that means there's trails all around. And he said, there's all kinds of trails and shit. Just here in the United States, it's a little bit different because there's a lot of land around me. I'm not allowed to go on that land. Everything's fenced off, a bunch of purple trees, and purple means no trespassing. Um, and it's not set up that way. And people will get hurt on land and then sue the landowner. Not me. If I do something stupid on a motorcycle on somebody's land, I'm not gonna be like, you have to pay for my broken arm because I decided to do a wheelie or some shit. I'm not gonna be that guy. But there's nothing keeping me from being that guy. So it's just safer just to either buy your own land and tell everybody to stay the fuck away. I've always wanted to buy a little piece of land and do something with it. Because there's like derby tracks, there's mud runs. I used to go to the mud runs a bunch of times growing up. It's just somebody's farm field. They got some bleachers and some girl that knows how to make apple pie, and they grab a case of beer, and then they just have like a little concession stand, and they just you know dig out a hole and make it muddy, and then they're like, hey, come on out and watch the mud runs. I'm like, I want to do that. You could charge, $6 admission, $20 to run your truck through it, and it's going to be $30 if you got to get pulled out. If I got to hook up a tractor and get your ass pulled out of the fucking uh, mud hole, I could charge a little extra for that. So, yeah, had a have some ideas, have some ideas. I just want to go trail riding, guys. Used to do it a lot growing up. What else is going on? The hotel was nice. Got a little breakfast this morning, a little biscuits, gravy, bacon, a little bowl of that made up. That dinner last night, I mean, I just can't talk about how good it was, enough. It was so fucking good. And got offloaded. I did wake up kind of late. I will say I woke up at 7:30 this morning. I was hibernating. But the good thing about me is it doesn't really matter what time I wake up. The only responsibility I have today is to get offloaded and then drive home. And no, there ain't nothing else on the schedule for me to be doing. So it's almost noon now. I'm gonna stop off here in Cherokee and grab me something to eat, and then drive home. And I drove the pickup truck to work, so it's parked inside the shop. It's ready to go. Get the pickup truck. I don't know why I decided to drive that. All I had was my backpack. I could have rode the bike, but I don't know. Felt like driving the pickup truck. I might charge up the AC and just see if that works on my way home, but I don't know. Every time I drive my pickup truck and it's a nice day out, even if it's a little too hot, I like to just blare music and then so everybody in traffic can hear some I don't know, Creedence Clearwater Revival, a little bit of Ozzy Osbourne, a little bit of Journey, Kansas, Missouri. Those are also bands. Foreigner. Anyways, I'm gonna charge up the AC and see if it'll actually work. Cause I've done it once before in that truck, where I charged up the AC, even though it takes a different type of uh, shit for the fucking AC system. I put in the new shit, and it charged it up, and it worked just fine. It leaked it out, but it worked for like a day and a half. So definitely want to check that out and see if I can get AC to work again in my pickup truck. That would be fucking amazing. Because it's hot today. I mean, it's noon. It's 98 degrees. It's only going to get a little hotter throughout the day. And I'm also a bitch because I've been sitting in a 2000, probably a 2020 Kenworth T880 with the ice cold air blowing on me for the whole week. Whenever I get out in the heat, my body ain't acclimated to the heat. We did get the AC working at my house. My wife was having some trouble with that the other day. She's like, hey, our house, it's 80 degrees in our house. I'm like, oh, that's not good. And we got it set down to, I think, 61, 60, or 69 or 70 or something. I like 69 for some reason. I don't know. 69 is perfect. 68 is too cold. 70 is too hot. 69 is right where I like to be. At least that's what I do in all my hotel rooms. In the house, she went to go change the filter, and our filter for our AC system, it gets stuck. It's like a big cardboard filter. It's a 16 by 25 by 1 little paper filter thing, and it gets stuck inside there because you push it. Every time I put a new one in there, I push it a little bit too far on accident, but don't know why I do that, but I do it, and it gets stuck in there. But it's like you don't have to worry about that for like a couple months. And tried to yank that mother. She was having trouble with it, trying to get it yanked out, and she got it out. It took a little while, but it was all mangled as fuck. And then she ended up changing the filter and kind of hanging out a little bit. And she's like, it's still not getting any colder. She noticed there was some ice on some of the lines in the basement, so luckily my buddy Tyler down in Florida, he is an AC technician, and his wife and my wife are pretty good friends, so she was getting in touch with them to handle it. Because I'm like, I can be the middleman, but I don't know. If there's ice on it, I say turn it off. Yeah, he gave a little bit more tips. If your A coil on your furnace is freezing up, you need to turn it off and set your fan to recirculate, or just on, and it will, let it sit for a while, let all that ice melt out of your A coil and drain down into your drain in your basement. And then after it's completely thawed out, you can turn it back on, and it'll work out really well. And it did. It worked out really well. She said it's 69 in the house, so that's awesome. We have vaulted ceilings, so there's not a lot of insulation there in parts of the house. So when the sun comes up and just heats up that roof, it's just all that heat's getting transferred inside the house. And then we keep the ceiling fan going the whole time, but it don't really help. It's hard for it to keep up. But it did well. It did really well. We're doing all right. We fixed it. We got it fixed, guys. What do we got ahead here? Mowers ahead. Okay. Good to know. They haven't mowed over here yet, I'll tell you that. Maybe they set the sign up, drive down the road, and then they mow up to the sign. I don't know. But they said they have not mowed yet. I don't know. If my yard looked like that, I'd say, hey, I could wait another week. That grass ain't even a foot tall yet. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. Adios. Keep all 18 down. We'll Talk to you later.